when started Soul Brother, 1967. You understand? Only 2 men had ever been in the Soul Brother. That was me and Red Jean.
Yeah.
And James Earl, Grapes, and all that had never been in no club. So anything was said, you understand? They looked to see if I said okay. But I was so much Soul Brother, I forgot me. You understand? Because I'd go down and stand on the table, you know what I'm saying, to the white club and tell them what the Soul Brothers wasn't going to take. Kill one, you got to kill us all. You understand? Because we were that tight.
So white people tried to run over y'all and stuff, or to test you or what?
You understand? Blacks were over here, white was over there. I'm the only one that was riding and racing white in the 60s. You understand? It just didn't work.
So I heard on another video I was watching, you were saying that you was whooping Hell's Angels on the ground?
That's right. And you got pictures of it.
Pictures of him bowing down to you, huh?
That's right, lose about.
Oh, okay.
The guy by the name of Ray Shark, you know that he lives in San Bruno right today. He got the picture right there.
Oh, okay.
Where he lost in front of all of Northern California Hell's Angels.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were saying you would beat Sonny Barges too? That's their head man over there.
Sonny Barges was under me.
Under you?
You understand? He'd ask questions. When me and him met in 1957, you understand? I was racing and everything. He was jumping up and down like cheetah.
Damn. Okay.
He didn't know nothing about all the racing. I met him at Hazel out on East 14th at a little club called Jebby's. That's where I first met him at.
Oh, okay.
You understand? And so we kept it a neutral. You understand? I'm a black man, he's a white boy, but he respected me.
Yeah.
I respect him, and he respected me. You understand? And we went that way for years and years. You understand? And so their thing was fighting and going on. Mine was racing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I raced all the guys out of Oakland, Daly City, Frisco, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
Okay. So in your racing career, how many victories you figure you got?
I was thinking the other day, I was counting up how many people. I can tell you the first race I lost, I win in Los Angeles, and the guy by the name of Arizona Red in 1958.
58?
I beat him in 1958.
That's true.
We was all riding knuckleheads.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I beat Arizona Red, and then I turned around and I beat the next fastest guy was there by the name of Lee Drew. You understand? Bailey, Speedy High. I beat Speedy High. I beat Sonny Sim. You understand? And let me get all these guys. You know, and man, I got a
whole list, huh? You've been running for a while, so
yeah. That was in the 50s.
In the 50s.
You know what I'm saying? I whooped all them. Sonny Sim wasn't even there.
The top dogs?
Huh?
Were the top dogs you knocked
No,
off?
the last one was top dog when I beat Pee Wee from Chosen Few. He sat Ben Millionaire, and I beat him. I was on welfare. And I beat him. Yeah.
So out of all your races, what do you think was the one that meant the most to you? That that you just outright dogged somebody, or they was talking shit, or betting the most money on? Which one meant the most to you that you remember?
The best one that I ever did is when Little Ray beat me in Los Angeles. Yeah, I lost a race for him for about 1,500, and then I took him back to Irvindale and beat him out of 5,000.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So y'all went to the racetrack with it?
Yeah, we were racing money there. And they took my motorcycle, laid it over, and run the acid all over it to see if it was stolen. Yeah.
So what was they gonna do if your bike was stolen?
They take it.
Oh well, yeah. Oh, the police did that, or they?
Police did that.
Police. Okay.
Yeah.
So they
couldn't see black man motorcycle running that fast.
Oh, so they figured you must have stolen it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was hot, and so they put acid on the numbers and everything.
Okay.
It didn't come up with nothing. Soul Brothers started on racing. It was two things we did. You either lose your woman or your motorcycle. Simple as that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we was up in the racing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I went all over. Los Angeles, that's the halfway run. They started that. I beat a guy named Will Hodges. He come down to Fresno. We went to the grape orchard. I beat him. He had a cap called Droopy Killer, and I win that.
Yeah.
But back then there wasn't no whole lot of money. You had prestige.
Okay.
And so I tell you, when I get to thinking, it takes so long to be. I just get it. It just keep coming to me. But I tell you, Lil Ray, you see on the thing I got in my folder there. He was the first one beat me in Los Angeles, down in Urbandale, about 200 of a second. When I shifted a little before I got to the line, my motorcycle come up and I went over the line like that, and his front wheel hit the trap before my back wheel did. That's the way he beat me, about 200 of a second. Yeah.
Y'all running that tight, then?
Yeah, we running that tight. And I went all off on the dirt. You know what I'm saying? And come back up and went and got him.
Oh, so man, if you would locked him straight, boy, it would have been a...
It was no lie. But when I went to Urbandale and ran him, you know what I'm saying, there wasn't no raids. You know what I'm saying? And they just went around there and seeked the police on me. Yeah, and, But Los Angeles, I whooped them a lot of dudes down there. Tone. You know what I'm saying? And, who all them boys? You know? Oh man, I don't know how many guys in LA did build a motorcycle to beat me.
What's your longest distance ride? I see you doing a lot of racing. Have you been distance riding too, like cross country type of stuff, or just mostly?
In 1957, I rode a chop back from Los Angeles, from Palo Alto to Newton, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
And a chop. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen so many deserts in all my life. You know what I'm saying? It's going through Texas. You know what I'm saying? On a chop. You know what I'm saying?
How many miles does that get on a full tank?
We back then we had 3 gallons and 3 gallons and 6 You know what I'm saying? And so I always carried me a gallon on the back of my sister bar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I lay a gallon of gas back there, so I know I can make the next town. When I run out, I go on reserve. You know what I'm saying? And then I run reserve out. Then I go and put that gallon in, and I know I'd be able to make the next gas station.
Oh, okay.
Going across Texas, you know, it was years ago, it was a long ways before you get to a gas station.
Yeah.
And I rode a chop all the way back there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, now, coming your 80th birthday, so you're going to retire now?
Yeah, I'm going to retire.
Are you going to retire?
I give my motorcycle to my boy.
Oh, okay.
He's 25 years old. And Red Wolf and them said they going to come down and ride me to the up to the clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, I go out real easy. I like that, to go out, you know what I'm saying? Because Soul Brother been my family.
Yeah.
See, I was a man, I didn't have no family. I come in here in Palo Alto. When I started Soul Brothers, there was a brother that I never had.
Oh, okay.
I never did nothing to Soul Brothers to where I could be called a dirty fella. You know what I'm saying? I give up all kinds of stuff, women, homes, and everything to be a Soul Brother. You know what I'm saying? I never borrowed a nickel from them. I ain't never owed them nothing. You know what I'm saying? I never been in the bar with nothing. But, you know, I love me. I put a lot of guys off popcorn and put them on steak. Sure did. And had never been, I know the time, and I used to pay guys $1.25 a week is when we started. And I used to give guys 3 and 4 weeks of pay on a dude. I said, man, you're a good person. You're a family man, you're working, you can't stand right out the money, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay your dude. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no more brothers to love like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The guy ain't gonna go in his pocket and pay you. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he would, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Okay.
Like James Earl and all that. James Earl, he been with me ever since he started riding a motorcycle. He got a motorcycle called Jason. And I sold it to him, and he never did pay me all the money, so I just gave him the pink slip to it. James Earl, been a James Earl, you know what I'm saying, for years and years. People didn't know. He's a follower. He ain't never been no leader. when he was president, vice president, you know what I'm saying? He was on the burnout, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know nothing about, making those decisions. Because he lied, you know what I'm saying? He talk about something. He said, oh yeah, man, don't do it. I said, man, you ain't even there, you know what I'm saying? How you don't talk that? But a lot of guys dislike me because I'm stood up for what I believe in. I love racing, and that's where it would come down. If he had a motorcycle, he had to beat me. You know what I'm saying? And if he didn't, I talk bad to him. He sure did.
Make you want to race then.
Yeah, make you want to race. You know what I'm saying? Whooped all the dragons, you know what I'm saying? And all.
Hey, I seen over the Dragons, they got a race bike. What they use that for?
I beat a guy by the name of Melvin. I went in Toby G's motorcycle. He didn't have no money. He said, I bet you my motorcycle. I told Gene, I don't want to take your motorcycle because I'm dirty. You know what I'm saying? My motorcycle ain't clean. You know? I'm dirty. You know what I'm saying? And a guy by the name of Melvin, we took off. And I went in the air, you know what I'm saying? I was just straight in the air like that. Told Gene flagged it up and I blowed his pants off. You know what I'm saying? And when Melvin was gone, and when he was sitting up straight like that, I was in the full, it was up. I was working the wheel like that. And I let it down. And when I shift second gear, you know what I'm saying? It was up. And when I went third gear, I passed him like he was standing still. I said, he won a trophy in Los Angeles. I said, where's my trophy? He said, what you talking about? I said, if I'd have been there, you wouldn't have had that trophy. That'd have been mine, you know what I'm saying? And so I beat him and told Jesus, I bet my motorcycle. When he did, you see in his book where he said, heavy win my motorcycle. And I give it back to him. I didn't need the motorcycle. So why I want a motorcycle wasn't faster than the one I had. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you got any questions there, Corey?
Nah, I just remember when I first got my motorcycle. Right. He said, yeah, you got your bike, girl. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. You put a patch on your back, pay your rent before you pay your dues. I know a lot of people don't pay their rent, but they pay their dues.
Yeah,
sleep
right.
in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Pay your dues.
Yeah, pay your dues. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been, it ain't like they can say about me. You know what I'm saying? I've been one of a kind. Ain't there another soul brother that I know cared and know as many people and done as much as I have there in the street for people not have to look over my shoulder.
What caused your first injury on the bike?
Huh?
What caused your first injury?
Oh, my first injury? You know what I'm saying? The first one I had, you know what I'm saying? I went down in the turn over there on what you call it? The road on the east side of Bay Shore.
East Bay Shore Road?
We're coming down from the Club Pole.
Bay Shore.
I skated 92 feet down there.
Oh.
I left enough meat on the street to feed a dog a week when I went around that turn. You know what I'm saying? Some girl come out, I was looking over in the bra with shorts on. I was looking in the car at her, and when I went that turn, I had an old bike with no stop control on it, and it crossed up on me. I slid it and went through there and hit the curb, man, and my whole hands and everything just stuck like that.
I thought I called it when you had to be off your bike for a month. You had to peg me.
Huh? Oh yeah, when I was pushing Tyrone and pulled a hamstring in the leg. I pushed him all the way up to 101 to Morris Road and then back round. You know, when I got there, and my leg went back like that and pulled all that in there. And man, I couldn't walk for a week. Yeah. It's so much stuff, you know what I'm saying, man? I tell you. Only way you can get all that, I just have to get me to talking in front of somebody else.
Okay.